Quick question. Are you stuck with your property that's no longer serving the purpose when you bought it? Because here's the truth. A property that's been underperforming for years, that's aging, that's costing more than it's giving, is a silent drain. And today, we're talking about why you might be better off letting it go, rather than hoping things magically turn around. Stick around, because this might be the most important 5 minutes you spend on your real estate journey. Let's set the scene. You bought this place years ago, you had big hopes. The rental income was decent, the market looked promising. But time passes. Maybe the location isn't as hot anymore. Maintenance bills keep creeping, vacancies sneak in, tenants change, tenants giving problems. The age of the building shows, paint peeling, plumbing issues, the elevator breaks more often. What used to feel like an asset now feels like a liability. And here's the emotional part. You're attached. You've put money in. You've had memories. You don't want to admit it's not working, so you keep paying, hoping. But hope isn't a strategy. The reality is, the property is aging, underperforming, and every month you hold on to it you might be paying in stress, in lost opportunity, in stagnation. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine, let's call him Sam, bought a condo in the suburbs 11 years ago, rented it out. Fine. Then the area slowly changed. New supply came in, rentals dipped, management fees went up. The building needed a lot of facelift. Sam held on. Maybe it's just a cycle, he told himself. Maybe next year it will pick up. Meanwhile, he was putting in repairs, chasing tenants, worrying about service charges. One day, he sat down, did a real number and said, if I factor in the time I spend, the stress, the money I'm putting in just to break even or maybe lose, what else could I have done with that capital? He realized the opportunity cost. He could have sold, redeployed, maybe bought something newer, lower maintenance, better location. He finally sold, he reinvested, and he says now, I wasted 5 years hoping it would turn around. The moment I let it go was the moment I got my life back. That's the key. When the cost of ownership, both financial and emotional, exceeds the benefit, you're in the danger zone. Aging property plus underperformance equals time bomb. And it's not just about money, it's about your peace of mind, your options, your future. So, what are the signs you're there? For example, you're spending more on maintenance and upkeep each year, not less. The rental income is static or falling, while costs, such as taxes, management, and upkeep keep rising. You dread the month end when nothing happens, or when a tenant leaves. You find yourself saying, I'll hold on until the market picks up, for years. If you're nodding yes to any of those, you're not alone. But you are at a crossroads, and the emotional trigger is this. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you can't sell easily because the market's shifted, or your building's condition has deteriorated further. Imagine the stress of being locked in. Imagine the regret of not acting when you still had a good option. So here's your invitation. Give yourself permission. Permission to look at the hard numbers. Permission to admit, maybe this is not working. Permission to say, it's time to let this one go and use my capital, my energy, my future on something that performs, on something newer, on something that gives me freedom. You've earned that. You deserve that. And you don't owe anyone the excuse of just waiting. Look, if this conversation about aging, underperforming property is hitting close to home, here's your next step. Pull out your last 12 months of numbers, income, expenses, vacancies. Then ask yourself 2 questions. Is this asset still serving the stage of life I'm in? And will it serve the stage I'm entering next? Because inside our advisory work, we don't look at property as a buy and forget asset. We treat it the Singapore Property Lens way, as a strategic transitional instrument that funds your future. Here's how we help clients who feel stuck or dragged down by an aging property. Step 1. Triage, start, advance, or yield. We begin with a simple question. Which stage are you really in? Start, advance, or yield? Most owners of older, underperforming properties are actually in the advanced stage, but they've been living like they're stuck in start. This triage step alone shows people the truth. Your property's job was to get you here. It may not be the right one to get you there where you want to be. Next, step 2, anchoring your retirement vision. Then we ask the big one, what amount would you like to retire with? And what role is your current property supposed to play in getting you there? This one question does all the heavy lifting. Property may not be your only investment means to retirement, but it could provide a multiplier effect. Then, step 3, the Singapore Property Lens Master Plan. Your strategic roadmap. Now, we build your property master plan. Market fundamentals, affordability modeling, resale versus new launch strategy, timeline of when to upgrade, unlock profits, and re-enter. It's not about selling for the sake of selling. It's about selling with a purpose, unlocking profit so you can reposition into a smarter, stronger asset that matches your next life stage. Finally, step 4, the sell with a purpose strategy. If selling is the right move, we apply the Singapore Property Lens framework. Right time, right price, right buyer, right next asset. Everything is engineered backwards from the profit you actually need to make your next move happen. This removes fear, removes guesswork, and turns the sale into a stepping stone instead of a dead end. And you know what happens next? Clients who spent years feeling stuck suddenly have clarity, confidence, and a real plan. And that old, underperforming property becomes the capital that funds their next breakthrough. So if you're feeling the weight of holding on to an aging property, or if you're wondering whether it's time to move from comfortably stuck to strategically free, reach out. We'll walk you through the steps, anchor your retirement vision, and build your property master plan that unlocks your next chapter. And if this video helped you think differently, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's holding on to a property that's holding them back. You deserve assets that work hard for your future, not ones you work hard to maintain. Seek a professional help. Talk to someone about selling or repositioning. You don't need to do it alone. My name is PK So, and I look forward to hearing from you, my friend. Take care.